Hello and welcome to another episode of What Travis Says. My name is Travis and let's talk about the nerdy things happening in the world today. And first off, let's talk about today's episode of the pull list with the optimistic box office predictions for Warner Brothers' The Justice League. Scott Mendelson, a contributor on Forbes.com, ran the numbers for the best case scenario of a wonderful opening weekend for The Justice League. Now these are if everything goes according to plan with Warner Brothers, just aiming high. Best case scenario, this might be where Justice League ends up. If the Justice League comes together and fans and critics both agree that the Justice League is better than Suicide Squad and Batman v Superman, Mendelson estimates that Justice League will have an opening weekend between 133 million and 166 million. 133 is where Suicide Squad opened and 166 is where Batman v Superman opened, so he thinks it'll be somewhere right in there if the Justice League can pull it off. He goes on to say that if the film is received well, people will be talking about what Warner Brothers did right, how they learned from past mistakes, just generally positive word of mouth. And the film is opening on November 17th, so the studio is sort of banking on that pre-Thanksgiving crowd. But from what I've heard, early audience reactions of the film have called it epic, which is good, right? Look, I want the Justice League film to perform well. I really do, because any comic book film adaptation success is a success. And I like enjoying myself when I go see a film. I'm optimistically hopeful that this might possibly be the film that we've all been waiting for. Fingers crossed. Now, let's change gears and talk about Pokemon Go. Yes. Many people still play this game. I'm still playing a little bit every single day, going on raids all the time with friends. I am this close to level 38. I'm probably gonna get there this weekend. And speaking of this weekend, tomorrow is the beginning of the Autumn Equinox event in Pokemon Go. It will last from September 22nd to October 2nd, so a week and 2 weekends. Double Stardust for catches and hatches, special 2K eggs, and triple the XP for new additions to the Pokedex. And the legendary beast raid bosses will be rotating on the 1st. Right now, America has Raikou, but it's going to be changing to something else, either Suicune or Entei. Nobody knows which way the rotation is going to go, but Raikou is going to be leaving and we're going to be getting a different beast. Trending today, there are people that want a reality show where flat earthers try to find the edge of the world. Now, not many people take the Flat Earth Society very seriously, but they take their beliefs incredibly seriously. And in a recent Reddit thread, contributors have suggested that there should be a reality show where flat earthers try to find the edge of the flat earth. Now apparently, and this was news for me, that people that believe that the earth is flat also believe that there's a giant wall of ice around the edge of the earth to keep people from being able to get to the edge of the flat earth, but that there's also military stationed in the South Pole to keep people from getting to this one access point where you can reach the edge, but the military is stationed there to be like, no, don't go to the edge of the earth, and that's their job, is to protect the edge of the earth from people who are coming to find the edge of this flat earth because nothing makes sense anymore. In all actuality, the fact that this flat earth belief has been gaining a little more traction in the past couple years is terrifying to me. I mean, it's hilarious. There is an overabundance of proof that we are living on a sphere just floating through space. I mean, we've been to the moon. But the idea that there are so many people that believe that the earth is flat, and many of them live in America. These are people who have the ability to vote. They can participate in the democratic process, and that is terrifying. But it makes sense because many people will refuse to believe a truth, especially if it contradicts their own truth. In the end, I feel like the reality show wouldn't really matter because the FEs would believe that they were being tricked in some way or that the studio was being paid off. But I really do think that this reality show should happen, if only for the hard, honest truth that I'm about to tell you guys. I am a flat earther. I believe that the earth is flat, and I know where we can reach the edge. It's in Hawaii, and I need to be on this show so I can go there and show you guys that the earth is flat and that this is the edge of the earth. In Hawaii, I'm gonna go to Hawaii and I'm gonna show you that that's the edge of the earth. And if I'm wrong, if I can't find any evidence, then that's just the studio being bought off by big oil and compass makers and stuff, but I need to go to Hawaii right now to prove that the Earth is flat, guys. Seriously. Changing gears to something a little more scientifically accurate than the Earth being flat, Doctor Who. Now we're all looking forward to a happy Doctor Who Christmas special where Doctor Number 1 and Doctor Number 12 team up and fight baddies and win the day, and it's an awesome adventure and it'll be super fun and awesome and Christmassy. Bill is even back from her popping around the universe and not actually dying like I honestly feel like she should have for emotional impact. And we know that 12 will finally succumb to the regeneration and turn into Jodie Whittaker. Hopefully in an emotional yet hopeful series of events. I mean, we already knew that it was not going to be a happy-go-lucky adventure because of that regeneration. This is going to be very emotional and sad for Peter Capaldi's Doctor. But what if I were to tell you that Stephen Moffat has one last chance to cause Whovians emotional torment, and he's not letting that chance just slip on by? At the London Screenwriters Festival, Moffat talked about the Doctor, Sherlock, and Superman. He said that Sherlock's selfish nature was offset by his kindness, and that in comparison, Doctor Who could be full of vile, awful evil. He went on to talk about why Superman is good, because kindness stops you from being lonely. Sherlock is good because for all he protests about it, there are people in his life that he cares about. That if you are sane and rational, kindness by far is the best path to take. That there isn't anything rational about being vile, awful, and evil, that it's just not a good strategy to have. And then he said, prepare for that to be contradicted on Doctor Who on Christmas Day. What? Now that is pretty cryptic, but what? We don't know if that vile evil that Moffat is talking about is something that the Doctor's enemies will do or something that the Doctor will do himself. But no matter what happens, it sounds like the 12th Doctor's swan song is going to be full of emotional heartbreak and torment, which, you know, given Capaldi's Doctor, it sort of makes sense for his character arc. But imagine if Bill isn't actually Bill and fake Bill shows up and then somewhere down the line, Bill gets ripped from the Doctor's hands. Kind of like what happened when she became Cyber Bill, but Moffat will actually follow through with the emotional torment. I mean, the Doctors are stuck inside of a single moment, right? So how is Bill even able to show up? Just be like, oh, hey, Doctor, I'm here, in that single moment, unless Water Girl is somehow able to help her? Anyway, expect this Christmas special to be much darker than we originally expected it to be. Now let's talk about Star Wars, more specifically developments on the Han Solo film. And that is that Darth Vader has been confirmed to be in the Han Solo film. It's been speculation for months, but now it's been confirmed that the Dark Lord will appear in Ron Howard's Star Wars outing. Seeing as how we're hearing about this just now, at the end of Ron Howard's reshoots, it seems that Vader was sort of tacked on at the end after Howard became involved with the project. When it was believed that we would finally get a Star Wars film that didn't have anything to do with anyone from the Skywalker lineage, it looks like Vader will be making a Rogue One-esque appearance with Han Solo. A source close to the Han Solo project said that someone was on the set of Han Solo in Darth Vader uniform. We don't know if it'll be a cameo, if it'll be an action scene, if he will even speak, but we do know that someone is going to be dressed as Darth Vader in this film, one way or another. There are definite pros and cons to the situation, and as you can expect, many people have very strong opinions about it. The largest con being that this is Han's story, so adding Darth Vader, unless it's done in an incredibly crafty way, may cheapen the telling of Han's story. Darth Vader is a cash cow, and the involvement of him in this film will guarantee some of those viewers who may be on the fence about going to see a young Han Solo film. But there are already so many things that we don't know about Han's past, including exposition of characters like Lando. I for one hope that the film doesn't rely too heavily on Darth Vader's involvement in whatever scenes he's in. Rogue One was a great example about how short, important scenes bring a bigger impact with characters such as Darth Vader. In the 2 scenes he's in Rogue One, Vader shows up, does his Dark Lord thing, leaves terror in his wake, and then exits the scene. So I hope the Vader scene is more of a cameo than an action scene, unless it's done, like I said, in an incredibly crafty sort of way. Well, that's about all I wanted to talk about today. In the comments down below, leave a response to your favorite story or just something to add to the conversation, and let's talk about it. As always, my name is Travis. Thank you for listening to what I have to say, and you will see me tomorrow.